Hey guys, Gabe here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're coming back, and welcome to the channel if you're new. I have a divine masculine, divine feminine reading for you tonight, and this one's like really special because this is one that I do as a service on my website. So if you would like one personally, if you like the one for the overall, like general collective, you can go over to my website, sacredtwinflameunion.com, and order one of these as well. I created this like last year, and I finally just kind of like, I started doing these for a client recently, and I was like, like these are like, I really enjoy doing these, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So if you like it, you can get one of your own. But this one overall tonight will just be for the collective. If you're watching this right now, there's something for you in it. And if you want to go deeper within your own personal journey, the more like personalized one is for you. So the decks that I'm going to be using tonight are Gods and Titans by Stacey DeMarco and Jimmy Manton. The Divine Feminine Oracle by Megan Watterson, obviously for the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine respectively. For the overall like romantic energy of the union, I'm going to pull a card from the Romance Angels deck. And for your block to love in your union, I'm going to be pulling from the Power of Surrender cards. Yeah. I'm really excited to do this for you guys tonight because like I said, I did one of these recently. I was like, I just had a blast doing it, so I hope you guys enjoy. I pre-shuffled, but I haven't pulled any cards yet, so I'm going into this blind, just like you guys are. We're gonna find out what the collective is doing. So I'm gonna pull from the Divine Masculine first. Green Man, Abundance. This is a good sign for the Divine Masculine, calling in your abundance. This could be a period of time, like abundance isn't just money, although like that's what we naturally think of as, especially when you think of like masculinity, you're thinking like the breadwinner, you're thinking, someone who goes out and gets what he wants, claims his abundance. But this can also be abundance in love. So, whatever it is like that's resonating for you or what's going on in your union right now. I know for my union, it does feel like it might be a little bit more on the financial side. But, if you're calling in that abundance, it seems like this is a good sign for your union that, you're going to be going to the next level for your divine feminine, for your woman, just to support yourself even, because, it's really important to have that foundation when you come into union with your twin flame, or if you're already in union, it's important to go deeper into your abundance so that you can have that support when you expand. Because when you come into union, when you come into harmonious union too, you naturally want to expand, and you want to expand rapidly, especially as you start to live your life purpose. And so, if you don't have that financial foundation to support you, you're going to have some rocky times, moving forward. And of course, God is your support. God is your banker. And so you can always lean on God for support and claiming your abundance in that way. But you do have to reach out and meet God there. You have to do the hard work, as you learn in Life Purpose class at twinflamesuniverse.com. You have to do the hard work. You have to put forth the effort, and God will meet you there. It's not just going to fall out of the sky, but you have to put in the work to manifest your abundance. And for the Divine Feminine on this side, the Goddess of Never Not Broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. Yeah, this is beautiful. And I did not pronounce her name because I know I would butcher it. But yeah, it seems like the Divine Feminine is going deeper into her own love, her own truth, her own liberation, really coming into herself. I like how this card here, she's kind of half naked over here, but she's kind of coming into her own strength and beauty and divinity. And she chooses to only become more love. And in that love, you are free. And yeah, like it's like a very like blossoming card. It's like coming down to like this crumbles away and you become like the goddess. I don't know. It feels really good here. But yeah, like the divine feminine, you know, wants to come into more of her own. Like she doesn't have to be, you know, dependent on her man. She's dependent on God, and she's dependent on like love. And as she blossoms with that love, she naturally like overflows and gives back to the masculine, who maybe is calling into its abundance to help, you know, reciprocate in that flow of love and abundance and money. And you know, that it feels like it's complementary, even though it doesn't like seem like it. It's the same way that your life purpose journey and your twin flame journey are not separate. One part of the union could be focused on the life purpose, and the other part of the union could be focused on, you know, claiming, you know, their twin flame. And you're not working separately from each other, because, you know, as you know, claim your life purpose, as you claim your twin flame, it's naturally going to lead you both together to doing your life purpose together. That's the whole point of having you and your twin flame being together, is to live your life purpose. And so, you know, going deeper into love, going deeper into your life purpose, it's naturally aligned. It's the same journey. And you don't have to worry about it being like, oh, well, if I'm focused on my life purpose over here, my divine masculine's looking to like make money, and I'm over here trying to get him, you know, or I'm trying to liberate myself and, you know, focus on myself. Those things aren't out of alignment. Those things aren't going to like send you into separation. It's actually going to bring you together, because the more like the divine feminine is loving herself, and the more the masculine is supporting himself, the more with his life purpose or whatever, the building the foundation, the more you have to like come together and like grow and expand. So nice. And the next cards we have for the divine masculine is Achilles, confidence. And you know, when I think of Achilles, the first thing that came to mind is like, of course, like that old adage of like Achilles, like heel, where it's like he was so strong, and then there's like that little nick that, you know, he got his heel. And I don't know the full story. Like, I'll be honest, like the most I know about Achilles is probably from Disney's Hercules. But you know, it's, you know, just knowing that heel was like his weak point, right? But he had the confidence to go in and like go into battle, you know, and that's what the divine masculine is being called to do, is like have confidence in yourself, build that confidence and strength in you, that, you know, you can support yourself, you can support your union. And, you know, there maybe there are areas where you're feeling a little weak right now. And I know that's something that I've been moving through as well, is that, you know, claiming your confidence as a man. The society like has this very narrow definition of what it means to be a man. You know, you don't feel your feelings, you bottle everything up, and you just hide behind anger and, you know, muscles and rage. And, you know, that's cool, but not actually cool, because you're actually like stuffing down a huge part of you. Divine masculine isn't the opposite of the divine feminine. The divine masculine is a complement to the divine feminine. And, you know, the divine masculine has the same, you know, like emotional range, can have the same emotional range as the divine feminine. It's just how you express yourself that is the difference. And like the masculine is always going to be at the outside of that like energy. He's always going to be tested on his limits. He's going to be on that edge of his fears, on the edge of, you know, where he crumbles from the emotional weight or the challenge that is being presented to him. And, you know, the divine masculine has to come and like relax into knowing that that's where he's going to be, because the feminine is going to be, you know, this is something that was relayed in the Twin Flames Open Forum for one of Jeff's like current live classes. If you want to join those live classes, there are spots available at twinflamesuniverse.com. But the point is like the feminine is kind of like on the inside, like gathering, you know, getting the food, like gathering things, and the masculine is on the outside. And I think in this story that was given, it was like about the like geese, about the masculine goose was on the outside, like making a big noise, like, you know, squawking, like don't mess with me. And then the feminine is in the inside, like, you know, gobbling up the food, gathering things. And like that's a very like you know, just a simplistic like idea of like how the masculine is always going to be protecting the energy of the union, and the feminine is, you know, going to be on the inside, like, you know, doing the inner work, doing the you know, really focusing on the inner world, where the masculine is more typically focused on the outer world and like the experiencing, handling those outward worldly things, like bringing the vision to life, I believe is how like executes on the vision that you know, the feminine has. And so, you know, as you build your confidence, divine masculine, you can better support your woman in like the vision that she has for you and help execute that. That doesn't mean that you don't have parts of the vision. That doesn't mean that you have to just obey what the divine feminine says. It's just that you both come together and recognize the voice of God in your union. And oftentimes the feminine might have the like closer relationship to God, have the like not, you know, have the vision from God, and you just listen to that voice of peace, which whoever has it, and move forward. But yeah, as you build your confidence, you'll be able to like execute on God's plan, understand like when you have the peace, PEACE, and when your twin flame, your divine feminine, has the peace. And the divine feminine side of this is Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into greater capacity to love. Yeah, this is beautiful. Like, to me, this speaks, like what immediately came to my head is like this idea of like transmuting and like using the mirror exercise to like heal through pain and suffering and letting go of that. Because, you know, I've come across people recently that have said like, you know, pain could be a good teacher. And I've really had to look at that myself and like, you know, did I want pain as a teacher? And I feel like there was a moment where I even like kind of like experimented with that, and like it's like really like pain and suffering has no purpose. Like there's no reason for it whatsoever. And like when you're choosing pain as your teacher, you're not really choosing with God. And so if you find that you're making that choice, you know, all it is a simple choice to realign to God. And, you know, some of us, like, you know, maybe we've known, you know, anxiety, depression most of our lives. Like I know I have. And it's really just like like being patient and compassionate with yourself in every moment to move forward and just say, you know, like, no, I choose love as my teacher. No, I, you know, choose to love myself there. And when you stumble, when you fall and you're like, oh shit, like pain is what I'm experiencing here, you know, to make the choice to let it go on that level, let it go on that layer, love yourself there, and keep moving forward. But yeah, like this is like, you know, letting go of pain and suffering, changing that into, you know, love, and allowing love to guide you rather than the pain. And like I feel like this is like just the divine feminine doing like her side of the work. You know, if the masculine is building up his confidence, the feminine is, you know, doing that inner work. Like I just explained with like the geese analogy of like, you know, she's gathering the love right now while he's building his confidence and like making that outer perimeter for like their love to expand. I love it. Feels good. All right. I apologize for my voice right now, guys. I've been sipping on some really, some like throat coat tea, but it's a little scratchy. So I hope you guys are, doing okay with it. But anyway, the next card I have for the divine masculine is Hypnos, sleep. And I feel like this, is not like the, like, oh, you guys are, he's unawakened or anything like that. That's, I know that's pretty typical for like a divine masculine, like, oh, he's unawakened and whatever. But that's not true. If you are awakened, your twin flame, your divine masculine, your divine feminine is also equally awakened. It may not look the same. You may be into twin flames and oracle cards and all of that, and maybe they're into the grounding part of it. Maybe they're really into gardening and building, and they're really into their job, like building their purpose. But that doesn't mean that they're not awakened in some way. They're awakened in the area of, maybe they're awakened in an area that you don't necessarily have mastered, and you're mastered in an area that they're not. You are complements. You're not carbon copies of each other, and you both bring pieces to the union. So don't be like, oh well, he doesn't know that we're twin flames, and so he's unawakened, he's asleep, and I need to wake him up. No, like as you heal, he awakens more as you're awakening more, and he'll bring that to the table. But what I get here is a feeling for the masculine to also like take time to rest, is what came up for me. And to like really like make sure he's taking care of his like needs, because there's an energy with the divine masculine of like giving, and as the divine masculine receives energy by giving, but there can be this tendency to like be unbalanced in that giving. I know from experience with men in my life over the years, like masculine father figures in my life, I've seen them just like work and work and work and work and work and never really take time to rest and replenish themselves. And when I came into my own divine masculinity, that's been one of the biggest things that I've had to work through, is this like fear of I have to just give and give and give and give until I die, and then I'm not going to receive ever. And that's not the case. It's safe to take some time to rest, recuperate, and like give to yourself so that you can continue to give. The divine masculine doesn't have to just give. The divine masculine can receive as well. And while he receives by giving, he has to be open to that receiving and not just continually to push. And the divine feminine, this is such a complimentary card here from what I just said. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Yeah. And this is like the divine feminine coming through and saying like, yeah, like giving is receiving. Like, you can control like how much you give. You can't control how much you receive. And so while there is an element of like taking care of yourself, making sure you're not over, giving to the point where you're depleted, there is an element of like, when you give, you do receive. And, just finding that balance. I love this. This is like, it feels like Mulan over here. But yeah, the energy of the universe is merciful. And, some of us, maybe are moving through a receiving block. Maybe we're afraid to receive, or maybe we're working on giving in the moving from the proper place of giving so that we can receive. And just like really feel into that. Are you giving from a place of resentment or obligation? Do you feel like you have to give in order to receive? And that that's like you're coming from that, like I need to give so that I'll receive. Or are you giving from a place of gratitude, of I just want to help, I want to better someone's life, I want to give back to my community, to my friends, to my family, I want to give back to the universe, to God, and like feel into like your reasons for giving. Because if you're not receiving and you're taking care of yourself, you're giving yourself that rest, there's a deeper meaning for you there. Maybe it is you need to give more, but maybe in a different way. Maybe God is calling you to give, over here where you've been giving over here. And it's just like recognizing the call and moving towards that direction. So for the divine feminine, don't be afraid to give too. The divine feminine gives by receiving, but she receives and then she overflows and gives in that. So you don't have to be afraid, divine feminine, of I have to sit back and just receive. you receive and then you give from that receiving. It's okay to give in that way. And you're not taking anything from anybody by doing that. So, the bottom of the deck for both. Oh, I love this. Okay. I just like turned the bottom of the deck over. This guy has been coming up a lot in my, like, as I've been going deeper in studying, like, and like claiming my masculinity. Shiva, destroyer. Yeah, like Shiva is a powerful dude. Like, he destroys ego. He can be like very like powerful and destructive, but he can also be very gentle and kind as well. Like, there's like, you can be a powerful warrior and still like have that gentleness about you. You can destroy ego. You can, slay things that are in your way and like come into union, be with your twin flame, have all that you desire. And that's what I feel like is really, this is about, like that cobra that represents the divine masculine. Like, very powerful, very targeted, exact of what you want, that focus. There's like so much that I have like coming up to want to say here, but it just feels like this strength that is like kept, not, I want to say like in control. You have that, it's that peace that you have, for it's like your peace is your power, as like Jeff and Shaleia say. And that peace is like a destroyer of ego, not of anything else. Like, anger and fear and hate can destroy things, even though like it just is illusion. But that real power is having the ability to be with peace and only striking ego, only saying, hitting where like the lies are, where the weakness is. And like, this whole reading is like really about the divine masculine, like claiming himself. And of course, like every reading I've ever done is kind of for me as well. And so this is like really claiming for me, it's really claiming my divine masculine deeper. And I feel like that's what a lot of divine masculines are moving through right now, is like, coming out of that boyhood, like learning what it means to really be a man, and find that balance of like the power that you have in your emotions and in your peace and your love and confidence and abundance, and like really just grounding into that, who you are as a man. And Shiva is a great like example of like a strong masculine figure. He, like, his twin flame is Shakti, I believe, and like they're just amazing twin flames, and like just ego slayers. And so I don't know, I'm just really I'm just like really happy about this. I'm having my own little like, oh, this is great experience here. But I wanted to just convey like the power and strength that you have as a divine masculine in that peace, and not in like a weak, cowardly like anger or fear or resentment. It really does come from your peace, your groundedness, and coming from that connection with God. And so beautiful. And the divine feminine is, I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. And what I get from this is, this is the divine feminine going deeper into the inner world, where the divine masculine is out here claiming himself. The divine feminine is going into the inner world and clearing out these like causes of suffering in the union. And, this could be you doing your inner work, doing the mirror exercise, watching classes, TFAS, LPC, and, really like going deeper into your inner healing work. And, as you like explore yourself, go deeper, because this is also exploring yourself, going into your inner world. The divine masculine is exploring himself in his own way. And the divine feminine is exploring herself in this way as well. It's like, you know, she's going deeper inside, like clearing out her upsets and really like finding compassion, finding her deeper self, her true like lovely nature, you know. And I see this like blossom here, and I, you know, I do think of the divine feminine as kind of like this flower that is just waiting to open, you know. And you know, she has to be ready to bloom. And you know, if she's like holding on to all this pain and suffering, she's not going to feel safe enough to bloom. And so as she like releases and heals through, you know, giving and suffering and pain and all these things that she's like moving into, this liberation from the first card, you know, she's going to be able to feel like safer to open and blossom and bloom. And I think that's what you really see in this card here, is like blooming into that love, that deeper expansiveness of love. Feels really good. All right. So now that we've covered the divine masculine, divine feminine energies, I want to do the overall union energy, and then I want to do the block to the union. So just pulling one card from Romance Angels for the overall, for the overall union love energy. You deserve love. And I think that's like very beautiful and very simple. And, you know, it complements both of these, like the divine masculine to divine feminine, like discovering themselves. It covers that like really well, because ultimately on this journey, it's not about you and your twin flame. It's about you and God. And it's about you really like finding that love for yourself. Because as you love yourself, this is actually something that came up in my class with Jeff tonight when we were, when I was in that, is, you know, as you love yourself, you're like adoring God. As you adore yourself, you're adoring God, because you're having appreciation for his creation that is you. And, you know, the more you fall in love with yourself, the more you give yourself that love and recognize that you are lovable just the way you are, just the way God created you, just where you are right now, regardless of your blocks, regardless of what you're moving through, you are lovable right this moment. And when you recognize that, and you go deeper into that, and you find your true self, like that's when your twin flame is going to find you the most attractive. That's when, you know, you're going to attract your abundance. That's when you're going to, you know, find your life purpose. You know, it's like, as you like go deeper into loving yourself, all of this will naturally come up and help you expand. And you just take the steps that you're guided to take along the way, and God will just bring that about for you. You don't have to push. You don't have to figure it out. Like, how did God create me? God is going to show you what you need in this space. And so just allow it to happen. All right. And the block. The block that you guys, you know, this is fun. This is a fun reading. The overall block in the union is surrender to joy. And this was, this is in a way was also the overall message in my class tonight, was surrender. Like, it's just basically relaxing. Just relax, enjoy your life. And that's been one of the biggest lessons that I've been learning on my journey, is learning to enjoy life. Surrender to joy. Because, you know, for me, like I mentioned earlier, is I had this like relationship with pain and suffering for most of my life, with anxiety, depression that I was on medication for, I went to therapists for. And it wasn't until I like found Jeff and Shaleia's work, started doing the mirror exercise, that I like started to really like overcome it and felt comfortable enough going off my medication, stopped seeing a therapist and everything. And it was, you know, it's been like consistent dedication to this work, even when I stumble and make mistakes and, you know, have bouts of like, like maybe I should have stayed on it. You know, like literally every time I have those moments, I continually do the work, and I come out of it on the other side feeling better than ever. And, you know, surrendering to joy, allowing myself to just enjoy life, is like one of my biggest challenges in this lifetime, is surrendering to that joy. And it's not that I have you know, I have a lot of joy returning to me. I don't remember the exact quote, how Shaleia puts it, but it's like, you don't have you know, a block to joy. You have a lot of like joy returning to you, essentially. Like, it's like some of your biggest blocks are actually what you're actually, you know, most excelled in, or like what you actually most excel in. So it's like, if you have a lot of trouble with being seen, you're probably meant to be seen. It's like just a block that you have to your actual life purpose. If you have a lot of blocks to joy, you're like, oh, I'm miserable. You probably, you know, have a deep purpose and joy. And that's what I've like felt about myself, is like, I've spent a lot of time in like this pain, misery bubble, and it's like coming into this place of joy in your union. And, you know, this is just enjoying everyday life, like finding ways to make your life more enjoyable, whether it's like getting up earlier to like watch the sunrise, or, you know, make time to go to the beach, like romance yourself, you know, do things that like that you want to do, instead of doing the things that you feel like you're obligated to do. You know, find the joy in your life and allow yourself to live that balanced, joyful life. And that's really going to like magnetize your twin flame to you, because like, you know, it's a lot of it is law of attraction, of like, you attract, you don't chase your twin flame. You don't hop on a plane and go be with them. And I've been in that space where it's like, oh, I just want to do that because like, that's what society, that's what the world, that's what movies would tell you to do, is, you know, go hold a boombox outside of their bedroom window, and that's how you're going to charm your twin flame. And while that might do it when you're on good terms, like, you can't do that first. You can't, you know, go seek outside of you for your twin flame. You have to find that joy within first and attract them to you in a way that, you know, God is guiding. And so find that joy within, and you'll find the joy in your union. All right. So this feels really good. Like, this is a great reading, guys. Like, I don't, like, this is great. I keep looking at this and I'm like, I really enjoyed this reading. So if you guys like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I will be doing more readings like this. If you'd like your own personal reading, I do it basically just like this, and I pull for you, and I will, you know, examine the cards and talk about what you're going through in your union and that energy. And if you want one for yourself, it's at sacredtwinflameunion.com. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.